Hi, I'm Andrea. Thanks for joining me for this 30-minute yoga practice. I happen to be standing on a yoga mat. If you don't have one, that doesn't mean you can't join us. Just find a carpeted area that's not too slippery and you're going to be fine. I do like to use a chair, so you might want to have a chair nearby. A couple of blocks would be great. If you've got thick books, those could be a substitute. And a folded blanket, maybe that's your beach towel or the throw blanket from your couch. I think that it's best if you situate yourself so that it's as if the short edge of your mat were facing me. And maybe you have a mat, but if you don't, then you get to stretch into some imagination as part of your yoga today. We'll start, as we often do, with our feet hip distance apart in the ultimate bedrock pose of yoga, mountain pose. And it's here that we stop so that we can start. Notice your feet in the ground, the crown of your head towards the sky. Turn your palms away from each other. Let that start at your shoulders and uplift your heart. The gaze is inward, meaning we're not darting our eyes around the room. If you need a focal point, think of gazing at your bright horizon with your chin parallel to the ground. So we find the beautiful posture of ears over shoulders, over hips, over heels. We also discover our breath. Deep, rich inhales and complete exhales. Adding movement to our breath, inhale, arms out and up, a V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips, take your hands to your thighs. Inhale, traction your hands on your thighs, grow long through your spine. Exhale, hinge at your hips, and then inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Float your arms alongside your body, palms face out. Again, just like that, inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips and hands to your thighs. Inhale, your heart extends long. Exhale, deeper hinge at the hips, and then inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Float your arms along your side. Adding on, inhale, arms out and up. This time with your V shape, bend your knees like you're going to sit into a little chair behind you. And then straighten your legs and float your arms alongside your body, palms face out. Again like that, bend your knees, V shape, thumbs to the sky. We're sitting in a tiny chair behind us. And then straighten your legs and float your arms along your sides, palms face out. Once more like that, bend your knees, V-shaped thumbs to the sky, sit way back into your heels, and then straighten your legs slowly. Float your arms along your sides, palms face out. Adding on here, bend your knees, chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Now this time as we straighten our legs, shift your weight onto your left foot, and then just pick your right foot up off your mat and bring your knee towards your chest. Doesn't have to go super close. Step that right foot down, hip distance for chair with a V shape, thumbs to the sky. As you float your arms along your side, now take your left foot off your mat, maybe knee towards your chest a little bit. Feet hip distance, chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Shift your weight onto your left foot, float the arms alongside you, bring your right knee towards your chest. Feet hip distance, chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Shift your weight onto your right foot, left knee towards your chest. One more round on each side. Bend your knees, chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Weight to your left foot, right knee towards your chest. Feet hip distance, chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Shift your weight onto your right foot, left knee towards your chest, and then chair pose, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Stand and pause. Palms face out, and we feel the majesty of our mountain. We'll need some props as we move along with our practice, I like to have the chair nearby in case the option of using the seat of the chair is the one that I want to use today. And every day is different. If you're using blocks, set up your blocks this way. You'll have your blocks on either side of your mat, but you just want to be mindful that they're not right underfoot. I don't want anybody tripping. We'll take our mountain pose now here in between our blocks, in front of our chair, and you'll decide. You are, after all, the expert of your own body. Inhale, arms out to the side. We'll take our chair, V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips and hands to your thighs. Inhale, heart extends forward, either hands onto your chair base or hands onto your tall blocks. Step your left foot back and we're in a lunge. Now, right hip tractions back and left hip tractions forward. And I know they don't look the same, but it's a little bit like when we were bending our knees in chair pose and then bringing a knee into our chest, except now the knee's a little closer to our chest and it's what's called load bearing. It's bearing weight. But the shapes aren't super different if you think about it. Now see if you can find length through your spine. Length out the crown of your head. It's like we're standing in our mountain pose, but almost parallel to the ground. We always want to be careful that our hips don't go any lower than our head doesn't go any lower than our hips. And then step, left foot hip distance from right, hands to your thighs, inhale. Exhale, increase the hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out and up, a chair pose with your thumbs to the sky. And then stand into your mountain, palms face out. Second side, bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. The inhale grows you taller than you've been yet today. And then hands to your chair or onto your block, step your right foot back now. Be on the ball of that back foot. It feels like your left heel is trying to make its way towards the ball of that right foot. And then you're really looking to grow tall and long through your spine. Your left hip is hugging underneath you like a midline. And it's sort of if you use your imagination, a little bit like when we brought our knee into our chest standing. Remember we were standing so tall in our mountain pose? Can you find some of that here? 2 moments. It's like we're having a lunge date. And then you're going to step your right foot, hip distance from your left. Hands onto your thighs, inhale. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Chair pose, bend your knees, V-shaped thumbs to the sky. Stand it up. Float your arms along your sides. Palms face out. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, hands on your thighs. Inhale your heart forward. Bring your hands to your chair or your blocks and step your left foot back. Now this time in our lunge date, we're going to come upright. If that doesn't work for you, you can stay right where we are. Upright, thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side. If it's sticky and tight in the front of the back leg, a little bend in that back knee can be very helpful. Gaze at our bright horizon and decide if you might like to take the V-shaped thumbs to the sky. But there's so much space between your shoulders and your ears. And then we just want to resist the temptation for that hip to swivel out to the side. Try to hug it underneath you. As you can see from my wobbliness, if you let it swing out to the side, there's no plumb line, there's no midline for balance. 2 more moments here. Hands to blocks or to the seat of your chair. Firm through your belly and step your left foot hip distance from your right. Hands to thighs as we inhale and grow long. Keep your knees bent for your chair. Inhale, V-shape, thumbs to the sky, and then stand it up. Pause in your mountain. Second side there, bend your knees, chair pose, inhale. Exhale, hands to your thighs, hinging at your hips. Inhale, heart grows tall, hands to your chair or hands onto your blocks. Step your right foot back. We're in our lunge. We stick the landing, feeling that left hip draw back and that right hip draw forward. And then you're welcome to stay here, or we come upright. Thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side. It could be the little bend in the back knee is helpful. So the front of that back leg for most of us, a little bit tight. That's okay. If you put a bend in your knees, your back knee, it's going to help you to get upright. If you like the V shape, thumbs to the sky V shape. Pause and find your bright horizon. A couple moments with me, giving you a little bit of silence. And then hands to your blocks or to the seat of your chair. Right foot hip distance from left. Hands onto your thighs. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Keep your knees bent for chair. Thumbs to the sky, a V shape. And then stand and float the arms alongside you. Adding on one more thing here. Chair pose, inhale, V shape. Exhale, hands to your thighs. Inhale your heart forward, hands to chair or blocks. Step your left foot back. Your right foot is forward. Now this time, I want you to be very careful not to let it round and your head get lower than your hips, but we will begin to straighten that front leg. And it doesn't have to get all the way straight. I bet for the majority of us it won't. And in fact, we don't want it locked out straight. So all of this is a little bit more fluid. There really isn't a right or wrong way. There's a mindful way. Now in this pose, with your leg moving towards straight and your head higher than your hips, press the right big toe mound down into the ground so you feel liveliness in that foot, all the way up the front of that right leg. Those are the feels that we want to feel. A stretch in the back of the leg, liveliness in the front of the leg, 2 more. Now rebend your right knee, left foot steps hip distance from right, hands to thighs, inhale. Exhale, increase the hinge at your hips, knees stay bent for chair pose, V shape, thumbs to the sky, and then stand and pause in your mountain. Adding on, chair pose, inhale. Exhale, hands onto your thighs, inhale your heart, hands to your chair or your blocks, step your right foot back. Once we're in our lunge solid, we add a slow motion straightening of that front leg, not forcing it straight, pressing into the left big toe mound, letting it be a hinge at the hips and elongation through the spine, like when we put our hands on our thighs in our sun salutation. A couple moments here to explore. Keep breathing. Keep drawing that left hip back so it's not swinging out to the side. 2 more moments. Carefully bend your left knee, firm through your belly to dismount. Step your right foot hip distance from your left, hands to thighs. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Keep your knees bent for chair, thumbs to the sky. Stand it up and pause in your mountain. We'll be moving more towards the ground in this next go around. Our props could be useful for that. Bend your knees, chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips and hands on your thighs. Inhale your spine long, either hands onto the base of your chair or hands come onto your blocks. Step your left foot back and we're going to lower the left knee. So you may want your folded blanket as padding underneath your left knee. So once you're landed down here, feel free to grab that and throw it underneath if that padding would be nice. So here we are in what's called a low lunge, and thumbs to the sky, V shape overhead. Take a couple of moments and see if you can make a tiny bit more space happen between your right thigh bone and your right hip bone. So it's like a lift of the low belly. We're not scrunching shoulders into ears. There's a couple moments here. And then hands to your blocks. Lift your back knee. Step your left foot hip distance from your right, hands on your thighs, inhale, and then exhale, fold. Chair pose, bending your knees, thumbs to the sky, and then stand it up and float your arms along your side. Great, chair pose, inhale. Hands to your thighs. Inhale your heart longer, hands to your chair or onto your blocks. This time your right foot steps back. If you have padding back there, just be careful as you step. Lower that back knee down. Toes can stay curled under of your right foot, and then we're upright, thumbs to the sky, V shape. We make sure that we're not scrunching our shoulders into our ears. We're dragging that left heel back even though it's not moving anywhere, and making a bit of space between the left hip bone and the left thigh bone. And then just 2 moments here. Hands to our blocks. Back knee comes off your mat. Firm through your belly. Step your right foot hip distance from your left. Hands onto your thighs. Inhale. Exhale. Increase the hinge at your hips. One more chair pose. Thumbs to the sky, and then stand. Float the arms alongside you. Great. Chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, hands to thighs. Inhale, heart forward, hands to your chair or to your blocks. Step your left foot back. Lower that left knee to your mat or to your padding. Come upright, thumbs to the sky. Now this time, turn to your right. Give yourself a couple of moments here in a twisting lunge. We'll take 2 moments. You definitely want to make sure that you're not letting it swing out to the side. So keep hugging that right hip in. And then unwind and take your hands onto your blocks. Straighten the front leg. So you can also be using the base of your chair. You just may want to pull it in closer to you. Straighten your right leg and curl your toes back towards you. Here as well, we're not rounding in our back. We have a hip hinge like when we had our hands on our thighs in our sun salutation. Just imagine that you're in mountain pose from the waist up. Probably the feedback of some stretch in the right leg. Last couple moments here. If you'd like, you can add a twist to this one. Left hand stays on your block. It could even stay on the seat of your chair. And then right arm, thumb to the sky, a little bit of a twist. 2 moments like this. Unwind your right hand onto your block. Bend your right knee. Our dismount is different. Use your chair or your blocks to swoop right knee next to left knee, and then step your left foot forward. So we stay low to the ground. And if you need padding, then by all means, get your padding going on underneath your right knee, and then come upright, thumbs to the sky. First, we need a foundation. So really feel like you're trying to drag your left heel towards you. Once we're solid, turn to your left, thumbs to the sky. Breathe deeply. Few moments here. Every inhale grows you tall. Every exhale is a teensy exploration into the twist. And then unwind. Take your hands to your blocks or to the seat of your chair. Straighten that front leg, dig the heel in, curl the toes back towards you, and make it a hip hinge with a long, tall spine. We're not rounded. It's fine to have a little bit of bend in that left leg, especially if it kind of feels like it needs it. Grow a tiny bit taller every inhale out the crown of your head. And then just feel all the feels here. If you want to, right hand stays on your block and left arm, thumb to the sky, a twist. If it doesn't have your name on it, no worries. Unwind, bring your left hand onto your block, Bend that left knee. And then swoop your left knee next to your right knee. We'll get rid of some of these props. So your chair may want to go out of your way, forward. Your blocks can go off to the side. And then carefully slide on your belly. Sphinx pose. Traction your elbows towards you. Lift your low belly. Press into the tops of your feet. Keep your chin parallel to the ground and your gaze at your bright horizon. This is not us jamming and slamming into a back bend or into a shoulder shrug. You want to feel the finesse of your chest through the gateway of your arms. One last little thing to play with. Press into the tops of your feet. See if you can make your kneecaps come off the ground. And then lower down. Make a pillow with your hands. You can rest your forehead on your hands. Bend your knees and windshield wiper side to side. We'll do one more round. So press the tops of your feet down. Situate your forearms on your mat parallel to the long edges. Traction your elbows towards you. Draw your chest through the gateway of your arms. Low belly lifts away from the ground. You can feel that against the ground. Tops of your feet press. Kneecaps lift. Chin parallel. 2 moments. And then lower down, and this time roll over onto your back. Once you're lying on your back, bend your right knee into your chest and imagine that your left leg is straight and you're standing on it. Remember the very first thing that we did with our knee into our chest? And you can hold onto the back of your hamstring. Might be that you hold the shin, just feel where it works for you. Pause, it's kind of a full circle moment. I'd like you to take your left hand on the top of your left thigh and then just press into that thigh a little bit so you feel some stability there. And then just like we did standing, we're going to play with a hamstring stretch here lying down. Hold the right hamstring and start to work your leg towards straight. It doesn't have to get straight at all. It's on its way. Honor where it lands. You can probably almost feel the tightness against your hand. And then enjoy a few moments here. Left hand encouraging left thigh bone into the ground. Right hand comforting the hamstring that's getting a little bit of a stretch here, like that pyramid shape that we did standing. Two more moments. Now bend your left knee, and we don't need to go any deeper today. We'll just let it be here, but do curl your right toes back. Let your right thigh bone feel like it's falling towards the ground. And I like to turn my palms to the sky and feel my shoulder blades shimmy underneath me. It's just a different action in the hip than the rest of our practice. When we go off to the side like this, it's an external rotation. Place your right foot on the ground. Bring your left knee into your chest. Straighten your right leg on the floor. Curl your toes back as if you feel like you're standing on something. Take your right hand onto your right thigh. Notice that what's happening in your left leg is a lot like what we did at the very beginning of the practice, standing with our knee to our chest. And then holding that hamstring, go slow. Begin to move your left leg towards straight. We have no agenda to try to get it all the way straight. Once you get the sticky part, meet yourself where you are. That's the real stretch, don't you think? And then we're here for a moment. I'll be quiet. Last couple moments here. And carefully bend your right knee and stamp your right foot into the ground. Cross your left ankle over that right thigh. Curl your left toes back and let this be enough. Palms to the sky. Maybe you shimmy the shoulder blades underneath you again. It really gives us evidence of how we might slump when we're standing, don't you think? This tactile feedback of the ground is so helpful. Gently place your left foot onto your mat, and now walk both feet out as wide as your mat. You can take your arms a little bit more out to the side, even cactus your arms out to the side if you prefer, and then just let both knees like windshield wipers spill over to the right. It could feel good to pick up your right foot and cross ankle on top of the thigh, sort of like we were doing upright, but now as a twist. And you'll feel it on the right side of your body. Or the left side of your body, pardon me. And then come through center, feet as wide as your mat. Spill the knees to the left. Maybe pick up your left foot and cross it across the thigh. Gently place your left foot on your mat if you crossed it over. Come down the middle for all of us. Arms along your side. Take one more shimmy of the shoulder blades underneath you. Your knees fall together. Lift your hips just an inch. Make space to lower back down. And either stay here or extend one leg and then the other into our Shavasana. You can close your eyes, cover your eyes. But let yourself fall into the floor here. No more efforting. Just surrender. Feel free to stay here in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. If you're ready to start to find your way back, move your fingers and toes. You could stretch your arms and legs in opposite directions. Collect your knees into your chest. Roll gently to either side. And come up to a comfortable way to sit. You can even sit on a folded blanket if that's most comfortable. Palms up or down. Just take a moment to see how you feel after our lunge date. I'm Andrea. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I look forward to us doing it again together soon.